Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we got ourselves a gate finally, so we're gonna put a gate on this extension to our steer corral. Gonna put a gate right there, and that'll make it real nice for separating these animals. And so we're gonna put it in there. I think we'll swing it back towards the fence here, or maybe back over on this side. Maybe it'll do both sides. But anyways, the good part about this now is we're graining our steers way over there in our alleyway. I think it'll be easier just to shove them over here, close it, because it's a shorter walk to our grain shed there, as you can see. So this should make it quite a bit easier and be really functional. Eeyore backup. And we have our everyday helpers have come over to cheer us on, as they usually do. Here's the one question I have for you guys real quick. These gates, and I'm probably going to call these guys, I never could understand why they paint the hinges. It's hard to see in this light, but you can kind of see it maybe right there. If they paint it, I know why they paint, to keep it from rusting, but the paint is so thick that we cannot even begin to move the nut down, the bolt. And I'm thinking about calling them and asking them to stop doing that, because I use a lot of these guys as gates and I get tired of messing around with those things. However, once you get them down there, these are great gates. This is another situation when they put these on there like that. Those two nuts, they tighten together and then they paint it, and then it rusts, and then they don't come apart. So just so you know, you really need 2 wrenches for this, but we got a wrench and a hammer, so we're gonna try to do that. See if I can hold this gate down. Loosen it right up like that. And we got a nice little trick to show you about this paint. Sometimes spraying a little bit of this stuff on here helps out enough to get that down, but being on this one's got such thick paint, it probably won't do the trick. So what we do, get a little torch like that, fire it up, and that just almost fell on my foot. So anyways, that right there, you heat that nut up and keep her hot right in front of it, and you can go all the way down. We'll show you how that works. So like down here, you can see it's gotten really difficult because of that paint. So we're gonna heat her up. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Get that good and hot, and it'll just burn right through that paint as you thread it on down there. Oh, it slipped a little bit. All right, let's see what happens. There we go. Like I said, it just melts that paint right as you go down. And man, that's a nice trick. So Austin's the one that came up with this trick. He said, let's get a torch. I said, that sounds like a good idea. And as you can see, man, that's a lot easier than cranking on that. Perfect. That works great. Good job, Austin. That's a good trick.
It's a raise.
That's a raise right there, yeah. We'll raise you up and give you the credit. How about that? No, okay, what I like to do is, it's still hot a little bit. It's a little bit warm. It's not super hot. Anyways, I like to measure from the bottom right there to the middle of that right there, and then add whatever gap I want underneath the gate to that number, and that's what I'm going to measure on the post and drill it in. So like I said, you can just eyeball this if you want. If you don't want to be technical, go ahead and lift that up, would you? But we're going to go ahead and give this a look-see, and it's about 9 1/4. That's estimate. So let's say I want only 6 inches under there, then that's 15 1/4 is what I need to come up. So I'm going to try to do that. We do have this little hump right here, so I might have to deduct an inch or so and then just go 14. So I'll do that and then we'll give it a go. Okay, so go ahead and pull your bottom hinge up, and we're going to measure from the bottom of that up to your desired height here, which could be anywhere in here, and to the bottom. So 33 will get you in business. Up. And these guys, this guy here in particular, is being such a big pest, of course, Eeyore, that we're going to let him out in the alleyway. He's trying to knock old Austin down, and I think he could do it. I told Austin the other day, I said, you might want to have to give him an old boot or something, because he gets over aggressive. He doesn't know his own size. There you go. Up. Come on. Go on over there. There you go. You guys get out of here. He might be back. He's weird, isn't he? He's been feisty, I tell you what. And he's not even close to being ready to butcher, so I don't know why he's so mad at me. Okay, so that goes right in there. We'll put the nuts on there and see how it sits. Well, now that we got that gate hung, and it does swing back over to this side of the fence, doesn't quite swing the other way because of those rails. I may do something in the future, as I would rather have it go that way. Anyways, it's functional. I can close something in here. So now we're going to move on to over where that cow is rubbing that gate and put another gate. And the cows are going to rub this, so I expect them to be down here trying to destroy it. Now this is the gate I'm excited to get changed. This has been functional, but a real booger. So looking forward to changing this one out. Well, I've made a mistake, and my measurement when I put this post in the ground was a good 8 inches off compared to these gates. And you guys, you know, when you buy a gate, it's never true what they say as an 8-footer. So this is an 8-footer, and it's 4 inches short of 8 feet, which is actually quite dramatic. Most of them are 2 or 3 inches short. However, that would not have saved the day anyhow. I was just too far out on this one when we planted it, and that's going to be a problem. So I need to think about that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mount this gate on here and just do it as long as I can, which will leave me a gap about like so maybe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cheat here a little bit. I'm going to screw in a pillar right to the side of this thing, and it'll get me by for now, because honestly this is just temporary anyhow, because if you remember right, my plan is to take this fence out to about the corner of the shed there. So no need to modify this too much right now. It'll be temporary. It'll get me through the rest of the winter, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Let's give it a go. We went ahead and mounted this gate on there, like I said, and honestly it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Let's look right here. Well, it's a good 5-6 inches off there, but given the circumstances, I'm not too upset about it. So like I said, I think I will screw something on there to kind of close that gap a little bit, just to keep them from getting their noses in there and pushing, but this is gonna work. As you can see there, that's what we did. We got our gate hung up there. It's not completely level because our post over here is all killywampus, and we just ran out of room. We couldn't sucker back down far enough. However, it works with that green gate swinging over this way, matches up good, and for now, temporary, we're okay with it. So what we did here, we just went ahead and screwed on another chunk of a rail. Got a 4-inch rail here, filled that gap in nice, and that is attached all the way through into this post all the way. And I will say, that don't do this with big cows. Something like this probably would not work for them. So yeah, guys, always take into account the animals that you do have and what's needed for them, because what works for my small low-line cows would not work for a full-size herd of Angus cows. It just wouldn't work. But mine are not aggressive. They don't push fences, and so this kind of a fix, even though I'm calling it temporary, it'll probably be a few months at least, but it's going to be just fine because they don't get that aggressive. So take that into account, what your animals need, what you can get away with, because it's not always perfect, and it's okay not to be perfect. It just needs to be functional. So anyways, thanks for coming along, guys. Follow along, as tomorrow and the day after, I'll see how this affects my day, and I think it's going to make it a lot better. So thanks for coming along. Like, subscribe, and we'll catch you later.